Wrongful termination also exists if you're being fired because of a protected medical condition, which would be a disability. So it's a little bit redundant to sue for wrongful termination, also disability discrimination, a violation of the Fair Employment and Housing Act, that's FEHA, but we do it, and God forbid if a jury decides there's wrongful termination but no disability discrimination, that could be a screwed up verdict because you can't get wrongful termination without there being that statutory violation like the disability. So the protected characteristics under the Fair Employment and Housing Act are age, cancer, genetic conditions, disabilities, of course, pregnancy, national origin, ancestry, race, sex, your sexual identification too. Your sexual orientation is protected, religion is protected. I think I already said race. So if you're fired for one of those things and you can prove that's why they fired you, not just, yes, I was pregnant and yes, I was fired, but I don't know if my pregnancy had anything to do with it, then you can be suing for wrongful termination or for a statutory right for losing your job under the Fair Employment and Housing Act. When my practice started in 1993, really all I dealt with were job terminations, and occasionally those would be breaches of contract. Two, we weren't doing a lot of wage and hour cases back then. The laws weren't on the books. They just weren't as popular. The class actions hadn't exploded. So certainly wrongful termination is something I have a lot of experience with. And so are the disability cases, the age discriminations, pregnancy discrimination, race discrimination, maybe also national origin, ethnicity discrimination, ancestry discrimination, all those things. I have done many, many cases like that. If you want to call me and you want to sue, 877-525-0700. These days, with having to work at home, we can't just give legal advice on the phone if you don't want to sue. We had problems doing that beforehand because I think it's malpractice to give people advice on the phone. I think you need to see documents, you need to sit with them for 2 hours, and it's just not feasible. And we don't charge people when they call up on the phone. I've often thought about what if we took credit cards. I don't know. We don't do it. I don't know how much we'd make. And I think a lot of it would be, no, you don't have a case. No, you don't have a case, because most things are not a case. One of the reasons why I did this show was to hopefully educate people how you do get a case. I know we got a little carried away with character comedy, but some of those examples were so out there that I thought people would remember them and would remember the law. The first segment of the show, the first 2 segments, we've really talked a lot about losing your job and suing. We're going to talk about some of the other things you can sue for besides a job loss, but I think that job loss really is what motivates most people to call. Job loss is what bothers people a lot, and right now it's just a problem.